Good morning. This week I've had a great time looking at young men who were taken in the 2021 NFL Draft and learning about their personal lives and just choosing some different people. Yesterday we looked at the first person chosen in the NFL Draft, Trevor Lawrence. Today I want to look at the last person chosen in the NFL Draft, draft number 259. And when you're drafted last, you earn the title Mr. Irrelevant. Every year, pre-COVID, whenever you're chosen Mr. Irrelevant, there's a big party for you out in San Diego. There's a parade, there's a banquet, you get all kinds of gifts. It's a big deal, and they have a lot of fun just poking some fun at you. And yet it's important to understand what it means to be Mr. Irrelevant. Back in 2009, Ryan Succop was chosen Mr. Irrelevant, number 259. What's kind of interesting about Ryan Succop is he was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs, went on to be a great kicker, a very successful career, then to the Tennessee Titans in a great career, and now he plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was the kicker in the Super Bowl and is a winner in the Super Bowl last year, and he was at one time Mr. Irrelevant, number 259, taken in the draft. Well, this year, the person who is being chosen Mr. Irrelevant understands that just because you're chosen last, it doesn't mean you are irrelevant. What it really means is it's irrelevant what number you're chosen. All that's important is you were chosen at all. The person is Grant Stewart. You may not have heard of Grant Stewart. He's a linebacker from the University of Houston. And the fascinating thing is, the team who has the last pick in the draft is the team that wins the Super Bowl. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who had the last pick in the NFL draft, and now they've chosen Grant Stewart, who has a chance to be playing with Ryan Succop there on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two Mr. Irrelevants on the same team. The general manager, Jason Letch, said, "Guys that can get through tough times and adversity, that's a big box to check for us." To get through adversity? Grant Stewart, what a life he has had. Growing up, it turned out that his mother was a drug addict, and she worked in the sex industry. She never was at home. They would see her now and then she'd pop in. His father was in prison most of the time. When he got out, he would pop in some of the time. It pretty much fell to Grant to help take care of himself and his 4 siblings. They in the end had to count on people in their church, other aunts and uncles and relatives to help pay some bills. They had to move from home to home and school to school. He was the one responsible for taking care of the family. Can you imagine? No parent, and trying to find some way to hold everything together. There were times that there was not enough food, but he held them together. In the end, he said the 2 things that helped him to make it through were his faith and football. And he has made it through all the way now to earn a scholarship to the University of Houston, and now to graduate, and now to be chosen in the NFL draft. I thought it was fascinating as I was listening to him talk. He said, "Whatever empty void there is left from the lack of parents or bad parents, a relationship with the Lord will fill both of these voids." It's where he has found his strength. Knowing that it doesn't matter if you're chosen last, all that matters is you've been chosen. Chosen by the King of Kings to be his child. And so you aren't alone, and you don't have to be afraid. The good news for us all, we've been chosen to be on God's team. I'm going to be cheering for Grant this year. I'm really going to be cheering that he makes it in the NFL. But whether he makes it in the NFL or not, I know he's going to make it in life, because he knows, just like you and me, we have been chosen. And that is not irrelevant. Have a great weekend.